Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inspired with Christopher Williams. I am your host, Christopher Williams, navigator and motivator with you on the path to accomplishing your goals and achieving your dreams. Hey, big thank you to everybody who's tuning into the show on a regular basis, who's ever seen the show, who's sharing the show, liking the show, following the show. I mean, anything you're doing that involves you actually taking some of what we offer here on the show and applying it to your life or applying it or giving it to somebody to let them know about what we do here. A big thank you. It means a lot to know that you guys not only are tuning in, that you guys are getting good stuff, good quality to take with you, but it means a lot that you're talking about it too. Telling people about the show, whether you're, asking me questions. Thank you to you guys out there. I really appreciate it. And I'm truly hoping that you're getting everything that you need to get out of it and that you're also able to get something that's going to get you through your week, get you through a presentation or whatever you need. That's what we're here for and that's what we're here to do. Always reach out to me if you need anything. I'm always available. Facebook.com/Williams Inc. OneWilliamsEnterprises.com. Christopher at One Williams Enterprises, and of course the Instagram page Williams_Enterprises. You can find me on all those things, and I'm always there, and it's me. It's not some automated. I'm there. I'm listening to you, and I know what you have to say, and I'm listening. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to continue with our Viewer's Choice segment. Last episode, I know we talked about social media responsibility. We're going to wrap that up today. We're going to talk about some tips and some guidelines for you to take with you on your social media campaigns, and also some things that are going to keep you safe and going to keep you aware. We're going to mention a few ideas, maybe some guidelines you can apply to yourself, or if you know somebody that's kind of going through something like this, let them know it may be something that they can benefit from as well, because that's what we're all about doing here, sharing information, right? So we're going to talk about those things, and we're going to wrap those up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So staying safe online, basically, like I said before, kind of encompasses what you share and who's, tuning in to what you have to say. I always tell people as a guideline, be aware of what you share. And when I say that, you want to make sure that whatever you share is very depicting of your company, right? If I'm in the business of motivating people and encouraging people with things, I'm going to be very selective of what I share online, especially if it's not something that I basically created myself. So you think about companies out there, you think about videos that may be funny, videos that may be kind of entertaining. You want to make sure that these aren't things that are going to offend certain people. It's very easy to get caught in these situations because so many things are out there online nowadays. You have companies that post movie clips and people that put up movie clips to make people laugh, and that's their business. But it's not your business. It may not always be your business. So you want to make sure that the things that you share are things that aren't going to offend certain people. Make sure that they don't have too many suggesting topics. Make sure that they don't have too many suggestive images, suggestive themes. And you want to make sure that you're not out there trying to, you don't want to make sure that you're not saying something that you're really not trying to say. So just be aware of what you share. Also, stay in your own lane. Now, this is actually harder than you think. Being that, social media is all about what's popular, who's doing what, who's where, who was seen doing what, unfortunately. We live in a society that really thrives on negativity. That's just the truth of it. So you want to make sure that you don't get caught in this negativity, because you may look back and you may realize that this was just something that a lot of people chimed in on, and you may get caught in somebody asking you about your opinion on it. It happens. We live in a society, we live in a time where people want to know what people think. But we also live in a time where people want to criticize people for what they think as well. So try to stay clear of anything that deals with any kind of controversy, okay? Some people may say, well, you know what, controversy sells. Controversy is very popular. So if I can get involved in that, that means I'm going to be drawing people to my cause or my business. That may be the case, but it may not be drawn to you for the right reasons. You want to make sure that just because something's popular doesn't mean that you need to include it in what you're doing. Yeah, it's popular. A lot of people are chiming in, but guess what? They're not really going in the same direction that you're going in on yourself. So just make sure that you're staying clear of anything that may cause controversy, and that may be anything that causes drama, as some people say. But make sure that you're keeping your content streamlined, make sure that it's going in the direction that you want to go, and make sure that it's tying into your overall mission as a company. You want to make sure that your mission online is the same mission that you have in person, right? Like I was saying in the last episode, people that tune into you online may not always be able to get to you in person. They may not be able to get to your store or whatever you have that's an actual physical standing. So you want to make sure that the same you you're portraying is the same you that you're portraying online. That way, you're attracting the right people. Those people are bringing in the right people, and that you're creating a bigger environment that's more of a community and not just random people just trying to see what's new and what's popular that particular day. In addition to staying away from controversy, you also want to stay away from things that may cause negative publicity towards your company or towards you. Social media now has ways of where you can, target certain mediums and target certain demographics and target, they may even be able to target hobbies that people like to do. So even though these things are bringing in people that you may think you want to know about your business, you don't know those people personally. So one thing that you have to do is, even if you're using these social media, these bots and things like that, you want to make sure that you're going in and that you're weeding out certain things as well. Don't just let things do and work for you. You want to make sure that you're still putting in the time to get these things done. So when you're thinking of ways to stay safe, keep those things in mind. Next thing we want to hit on is the topic I mentioned before, business and pleasure, all right, and how to keep it separate. It's really easy to get caught up in things that you as a person may find attractive, things as a person you may find appealing or you may like. But nowadays, with so many different ways of seeing who's doing what, hearing about who's saying what, you can really fall in the trap of somebody saying, well, this guy is about this, in person or this online, but they're liking, things that are very suggestive that really aren't the same thing as he's portraying in person. So just make sure that you're aware of this, right? Some of the ways you may be able to keep things separate is you may want to create a separate account from your business account, right? If you have a business account online on Facebook, or you have a business page on Facebook, or you have a business account on Instagram or Snapchat, maybe consider starting a different page that's just for your personal usage, right? Most mediums online have ways of doing this. They have ways of creating multiple accounts as long as you have internet connection or as long as you have different usernames or different email addresses. So if that's something that you may want to do, it may be a good business decision for you to do that. Have a page that's separate just for your personal life, for your personal family or personal friends, and have a page for your professional group or your professional connections. And this may be a good favor that you can do for your friends as well. Sometimes a lot of these social outlets are like to pull your audience from one thing and make them your audience for something else if they have that option as well. But if you're having your friends being pulled over into your business affairs, they may lose that whole friendship aspect for you and say, well, they're only trying to sell me something. You don't want that. You want to make sure that you keep the friends, the good people that you have in your life. You want to make sure those personal people stay personal. But you also want to make sure that you're growing your business presence as well. So if you have to create separate accounts, you may need to do that. So definitely don't rule that out as an option. And stay away from personal opinions as well, okay? Some things you have online, they may be very good as far as, conversation pieces. But when you start getting into personal opinions, you start basically giving people the opportunity to associate your business with something you said. Unfortunately, everything we do is in front of somebody nowadays, right? People are always talking about who said what. You want to make sure that if it's an opinion on something, or if somebody asks you your personal opinion on something, give them the opportunity to maybe connect with you one-on-one. That's always an option. And to be honest, you may grow a customer out of doing so. That way that person knows that you want to connect with them on a base that's not in front of everybody, that where everybody can't see. But personal opinions and getting involved in those kind of things, it really typically doesn't do anything productive for your company, because you don't want people starting to say, this is how his company feels about this topic, or this is how his company feels about this person. We don't need that, right? That's going to stop progress, and we don't need anything stopping our progress. So let's try to stay away from the personal opinions. And not only that, One last thing to consider is keep your engagement through your content, not what you say. A lot of times, the content that we put up may be things that we're promoting on our, in our business, whether it be in a store or whether it be in a, in a campaign that you're running. But let the content of what you're doing speak for you. Don't speak, outside of that. People are always looking for a way of, tying in how we feel or tying in what we do to the content that we normally share. So you want to make sure that when you go in and do your reviews on your content, that you're not saying anything that kind of is going in the opposite direction of that. So let your content speak for you. Don't try to give your opinion on too many things, but let your content be what draws people to you, and let your content be what continues to push you in the right direction.
10 years to learn the business. 10 years to make a name. 1 year on your own. It takes time to build a small business, but only 60 days to transform it with email marketing from Constant Contact. Sign up with Constant Contact and get 60 days of free email marketing to generate referrals, connect with clients, and build the business you've always wanted. Constant Contact. Start your 60-day free trial today.
Welcome back to Inspired with Christopher Williams. We want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We want to also thank our sponsors. Thank you guys for what you do, for the service that you provide us here at the show. A lot of the content that we bring to our audience, to our viewers, very important, very beneficial. And we wouldn't be able to do that without our sponsors. So thank you very much, and thank you for anybody who's out there even considering coming on board and sponsoring the show. We consider this a movement, so we want people to come aboard who get it, and you guys get it. So thank you very much, and thank you for anybody who's in the process of getting it. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. Today's point of power is coming from an experience I've had. I know you guys you have a lot of experiences, but I mean, we're family, so I want to share what I've learned with you because, iron sharpens iron, and that's how we grow. So the idea behind this point of power is the ability to say no. Now, you may be thinking about that, and you're like, you're always so positive on the show. What are you talking about saying no to somebody? No, it's a little bit deeper than that, so give me a second, all right? The idea is that sometimes you can get in situations where accepting something from somebody is too expensive. And what I mean by that is that you have grown and you have got out there, hit the pavement, and been out there. You've heard a whole bunch of no's. You've not given up, and you've stayed strong, and you've gotten a lot of yeses, and those yeses mean a lot to you, and you've become who you are today. And here comes somebody who has a yes, but there's a clause in it, right? They want to invest in you, but they want you to do this, right? Or somebody who's willing to say yes if you do this, or if this happens. And sometimes, you look at those situations and you're like, well, I'm getting the money I want, or I got this, I got the I got the buy-in that I'm looking for. The dollar amount sounds great, but what they're asking me for is a little bit different. This is really my baby. So I've worked hard on this. So do I really want to go that route? And sometimes, believe it or not, even though it sounded great to you, yeah, I want to do that. That sounds great. But the answer should really be no. Okay? Here's why. You've been through the tough times. You've endured. You've struggled. You've grown. You really don't have to change who you are for anybody if you don't feel that it lines up with who you are as a business or who you are as a person. Sometimes money is too expensive. And when I say that, I'm really telling you that sometimes, money, investments, partnerships, growing a certain clientele base, even a certain line of business, has its consequences. Everything is a choice, right? You can either choose to accept an investment from somebody within a certain requirement, or you can choose to continue what you're doing and say, you know what, this isn't the one for me, but I'm going to land the one that's meant for me. So keep that in mind, all right? Not every dollar is a dollar you have to take, and not everybody's time is worth your time. Always remember that you are valuable just as you are. Okay? You don't have to change anything that you don't feel you need to change Some things are okay. Some things, are negotiable. And that's fine. That's business, right? Business can sometimes be negotiable. But be okay with the idea of knowing that who you are, sometimes it's just that, right? You're going to have the growth. You're going to have the demographic you're looking for. You're going to have your clientele base. But some things, people are going to want you to change who you are. People are going to want to change what you do simply because they see how it can fit their situation. And that's not always good for you. So don't be afraid to say no. Okay? Realize that as you're out there, as you're doing things are going to come, and they're going to come in the way that they're supposed to come. And you don't have to always change what you're doing just because somebody with more money wants you to become something that you're not. Okay? Because when you're changing who you are, you're also changing, you're changing the group that you're attracting. You're changing the people who've been with you from the start. And you're basically telling them that that's not good enough and I need to change so I can get somewhere else. Change is okay, but sometimes change is not necessary. Just be okay with being who you are. Be okay with, hitting the pavement. Be okay with continuing to fight the good fight and continuing to do what you're doing. And accept the fact that, one day I'm going to get that right deal and it's going to work. And I'm not going to have to change too much of who I am, especially if it's something that's truly not ethical. You don't want to change what you believe. You don't want to change who you are just to fit a mold that you know that you're never going to fit. And that doesn't mean that it's a bad mold. It just means that it's not the right mold for you. That's okay. So be okay with saying no. Because sometimes that no may just truly give you the other answer you've been looking for. Well, that doesn't fit, but they did have a good idea with this. Maybe this is something I can use to kind of grow me even bigger than I was before. So accept that fact and be okay with saying no. And I guarantee you that the right opportunity will come your way, and the only thing you'll be able to say is yes. We want to thank you for tuning in today. We've had a great time, a great show. Be willing to check out the other episodes that we have, the ones that you may have missed or the ones that you may want to see again. Sometimes you want to see reruns, right? Facebook.com/Williams Inc. BizLinks TV is where you can catch all the other episodes and all the new episodes that will be coming out shortly. OneWilliamsEnterprises.com. Christopher at OneWilliamsEnterprises.com is the email. And on the Instagram page, Williams_Enterprises, where you can always find me. Let me know what you think. Keep the ideas coming, and we'll keep using those ideas to be the main point of the shows. And you never know. Yours may be the next one, but you never know unless you tell me, right? Until next time, stay inspired.